Hey everybody, Mac to Monster, back with Marvel Heroes, and as promised, we got Squirrel Girl up on the chopping block. And as opposed to Black Widow, Squirrel Girl is phenomenally done. So this is good, at least for Squirrel Girl, especially for Squirrel Girl because she has been bugged for so long and plagued with so many problems and not worked for so long for the people who bought her. You guys really should have gotten this patch probably, I don't know, 3 weeks after she was released, to be quite honest with you. I can understand being released with some issues and everything. They want to get her out and make some money and everything. That's all fine and dandy from a business point of view. However, several months being out bugged and not working properly is not appropriate. So from a business model, not a good choice to do. So anyways, where to start? First, basically, they've mixed up some of her skills. And they made Squirrel Distraction kind of a hodgepodge of a couple different skills. And now this has Dodge, Health, Dodge per Squirrel, Physical Damage Rating when you dodge, and Defense and Tenacity when you hit with a melee power. So Squirrel Distraction is pretty good. They have the Dive Bomb, the Savage Swipe, the Nutcracker. This is plus damage per active squirrel, so that's interesting. You can almost get up to 100% extra damage. Does 2 hits. That's an interesting add-on. Haven't played with it too much. I stayed away from melee. However, I think she could be viably for melee because what they did with Squirrel Friends was they put Squirrel Love in here. If you remember Squirrel Love, you got that Squirrel Health. I remember Squirrel Love because they needed that health per squirrel hit. Now you get 42 health per squirrel hit. So with 30 squirrels out, that's about 1,300 health per squirrel hit. And if they're attacking at least once per second, that's a lot of health. That's what needs to start happening with characters today. This will make her melee viable. I'm going ranged. There's a reason I'm going ranged because, well, she's got a ranged bouncy attack that's free, no spirit, so why wouldn't I do that? It's awesome on Cyclops, and it's freaking killer on her. So that's why. And until they get really cosmic bosses downright, I don't like getting one shot, so I like to stay away. But I think she could survive fairly well, especially geared out and played right melee. So she would be melee viable. And, you know, this would be one of the things, and this would be another ability to use. I mean, that's just a ton of damage, just at one point. Just imagine all the points in here. It's very, very, very tempting to do. And actually at 16 spirit and a 0.7 attack speed, Root of the Soul would offset it pretty well. Not entirely, but good enough. But the things that did change is they fixed Squirrel Apocalypse. This now hits multiple targets. It hits a wide swath. It puts the dot on. Everything gets vulnerable. Things happen the way it should. It's very nice. Death from the Trees. It doesn't work anything near like any of the other iterations. You hit it once, it lasts 6 seconds where you cast it. It hits about 2/3 of the screen, so it's massive. And you can only have it active in one spot. So if you hit it in a new spot, it stops in the previous spot and starts in a new spot. However, it hits 2/3 of the screen. So it's huge. And it does mediocre damage, but it's a massive slow. Very good on non-bosses, not so good on bosses. Auto fire acorns. If you had a tank, this would get very, very nasty fast. This is better than Gambit's. This is better than anybody's fast attack thing. And it does 40% extra damage to bosses. Tank-wise, if I had one, I would go with this in a heartbeat. I don't. I'm alone, so I'm not. So, you know, that's definitely something for you to consider if you have a full group and you know you have a tank that can taunt. This will burn a boss down like no tomorrow. You can get up to easily 15 attacks per second, and those are easily hitting for somewhere in the vicinity of 7,500 damage each. Yes, that bad. I mean, it is nasty for just 1.8 spirit. Whew. You can do some really good stuff with that. Acorn Artillery. I didn't like it because of the 7-second cooldown. I tried it anyways. It hits like a truck. It's got a 7-second cooldown. It's a problem. By the time it's done firing, there's only 3 to 4 seconds left on the cooldown, so it's not as heavy as it sounds. So it's one big acorn, one big acorn, one big acorn, and that's how it falls. It hits hard, but I didn't like it because of the cooldown. I don't like the 7-second cooldown. I don't think it hits hard enough for a 7-second cooldown. That's me. I could see a 4-second cooldown, a 3-second cooldown. That would be appropriate. Basically, letting you keep firing it so the acorns continuously stream would be more appropriate. Squirrel Friends kind of stayed the same, basically giving you your max squirrels. It does have the summon effect on it as well. I actually don't use the summon effect. Don't feel a need for it. It does make me slower to start, but I'm using Sick'em, and I'm using Hulkbuster Squirrels, and I'm using Squirrel Special Forces to get the squirrel numbers out there. That's what I'm doing. So Sick'em kind of stays the same. You know, targets take extra damage from squirrels for 4 seconds, and it summons some squirrels out there. It tells all your oh, actually, it doesn't summon the squirrels anymore. I'm sorry, but it tells all the squirrels to go there. That's why it's only 1 point. This is basically used to tell squirrels to go to where you want to attack. It's very handy in X defense. Probably not so much needed here. So actually, let me move it. I meant to have Squirrel Friends. I actually am using Squirrel Friends. That's what I'm using to summon. And I'm using Sicken to direct and X defense. I kind of got mixed up. And then, so you're going to swap those around in X defense. Sick'em's very important in X defense. Not so important solo, which is why it's a 1-pointer. And then Squirrel Saboteurs, they're weird. They only fire off so far. They're called ranged, but they only go like 15 feet in front of you, and they kind of stop there. They sort of attack things, but they attack the first things in front of them. You can't direct them. You can't control them. They do put squirrels out really, really fast, and maybe sick them would get them to control again, but it's just kind of clunky. Not my favorite. Squirrel Heart is now the PvP functionality for crowd control immunity. Squirrel Special Forces, pretty much the same thing. Extra damage, extra crit for the squirrels. They go nuts. Summons a lot of squirrels, 12 of them. They last 17 seconds. You can do that every 35 seconds. And then Squirrel Presence, actually get rid of all your squirrels, and it leaves a bomb. So don't do it. And then finally, the one I haven't mentioned was Squirrel, which they changed. Now, not only does it restore spirit per enemy hit, but it bounces up to 5 times, so you can hit 6 enemies. So this is like the bouncy on Cyclops, you know, free plus spirit. It's even better than the bouncy on Cyclops. This is awesome, which is why I'm liking it. It's so awesome in X defense. You just spam that, bouncy, 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 drop this huge death from the trees, and then just squirrel apocalypse away. Stuff dies, squirrels everywhere. I mean, it's a squirrel invasion. And hence the name of the build, Invasion of the Squirrels. So, gearing wise, I actually used a Laughter Stone because now it's buffed, 23% extra damage to summoned allies. She found a symbiote infestation when I was practicing, so yep, I threw it on her. Why not? She's a summoner. I got the Squirrel Gig. Those are really the good stuff. This is alright. This is okay. This is alright. They're level 60 and stuff. They're alright. They're nothing fancy. I got both advanced and regular Latverian regalias. Only a Wonder Gore Clay. I don't have an advanced version. I really want an advanced version, but it's not dropping. I do have a okay Sinister's Cosmic. So the extra rank is actually making up for the 6% damage loss. And the summon duration was just about the same, so I went with it. I am using Brigand's Fortune. Because I'm using this Spirit Spammer, I don't really need River of the Soul, so I went with less damage from ranged attacks because I'm trying to stay ranged anyways, plus attack speed. Rare and Inviting Special, I'm finding movement speed. I need movement speed as well, and +1 speed. So I'm really, really fast. I like that as well. On the costume, all health, because all the artifact slots and everywhere else there's no health, so the ring, I wish I had health on the insignia, but I don't. And the core are all health, putting me at almost 18k. So it's kind of comfortable to stay at range. It's really nice when symbiotes and Nagari demons, that's probably about the best point of this one right here, 10% chance to summon the demon for 30 seconds. Is the fact that, you know, like the symbiotes, they start getting attention. So let's go to Cosmic Dr. Octopus. I've been having a fairly easy time with him. Let's see if I maintain that streak. So this is just the basic attack. As you can see, it does very well. Squirrels are starting to come. The genie's starting to come. I just Squirrel Apocalypse away and Squirrels start summoning up. And then, oh, I should have mentioned it before I summoned it, but the Squirrel Special Forces, they are those rocket squirrels. They are awesome. They're like one of my favorite. So, Squirrel Apocalypse is that now, and everything that it hits, it hits. Everything it runs through gets hit. And now the Death from the Trees, that's how big of an area that is hitting. It's hitting all that area. It's so awesome. And then here I'll do Squirrel Special Forces on something. There's a guy there. Nope, he's dead. Nope, wrong button, that's why. Where's Squirrel Special Forces? Oh, they're timed out. So if you fire them on a guy and they die, they don't fire. If they die before they fire off. Something to remember. There they are. All the rockety squirrels, they go nuts. They're awesome. If only Black Widow's drones work that way. I have no idea why they don't. They will fire, if there's like one target, they will fire off and hit that one target all day long. You can see the squirrels come out really, really fast. I'm almost at max squirrels with just a few button presses. All I'm doing is dropping Death from the Trees, firing off Squirrel Apocalypse, firing off Hulkbuster Squirrels when they're up. I find those to be the most important ones to always maintain out there, so they're up there. So I'm just firing off Squirrel Apocalypse, Hulkbuster Squirrels, Death from the Trees, then I move over to Squirrel's Friends to get the squirrels out, and then if it's like a boss or anything, I'll hit Squirrel Special Forces, sick 'em. I'll just spam everything down. So it's kind of like a rotation. There's only a few things. Oh, so it's the Hulkbuster Squirrels which fly up in the air. I'm sorry, I thought they were the Special Forces. Hulkbuster Squirrels. Those things are awesome. Here those things go. I love those things. such a different character. I mean, I had such a trouble deciding what skills I wanted to play with. I had to really think and narrow down what was needed and what wasn't. And this basic attack is awesome. I mean, what a different play from Black Widow. Nothing but problems. The Squirrel Apocalypse sets up a bleed on them. So very handy. I love those Hulkbusters. It's like teleporter day. Let's see if he summons. Aim support. Yep, that's good. So what a different story, huh? One med kit, and I used it at the end. I probably didn't even need it. I didn't realize it was about dead. Totally owned. Love Squirrel Girl. If you got her, you're happy. If you're thinking about one of the two, get Squirrel Girl. So, I hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll talk to everyone later.